Did you know Porsche and Singer vehicle design had a secret deal going all the way back to 2012? The automotive giant and the boutique shop, famous for their restored, reimagined, reborn Porsche 911s, had a behind-the-scenes agreement until they ended up in a lawsuit that threatened Singer's future. For a company whose philosophy "everything is important" guides their meticulous restoration of every detail, this legal battle puts their legendary craftsmanship at risk. Today we're going to talk about the legal fight between Porsche and Singer that just happened. We'll tell you exactly why Porsche sued Singer, what was really going on, and how they finally worked things out. Stay until the end because we'll explain what this means for the future of customized Porsches and whether we'll keep seeing Singer's incredible cars on the road.
Hollywood and asked me if they could buy my car, and I finally stopped saying no, and I started saying, well, I could build you one if you want.
So what does Singer actually do? They take old Porsche 911s and completely rebuild them into something amazing with carbon fiber bodies, beautiful interiors, and way more power. Rob Dickinson, an ex-rock musician and cousin to legendary Iron Maiden singer Bruce Dickinson, started Singer in 2009, and they quickly became famous for their incredible work. But here's the thing most people never knew. Back in 2012, when Singer was still pretty new, Porsche was already worried about what they were doing, so they made Singer sign a secret contract. We found out about this recently when the court papers came out. This contract basically told Singer how they could use the Porsche name and logo. Singer could only put Porsche badges on their cars if the vehicle still looked enough like real Porsches and kept enough original Porsche engineering. They could only work on existing cars, not build completely new ones. For a few years, everything was fine. Singer's classic rebuilds had carbon fiber parts and upgrades, but they were still obviously 964 generation 911s. There were a few times when Porsche had to remind Singer about their agreement, but Singer always fixed whatever Porsche complained about.
And make it as sexy and as desirable and as efficient and as fast as possible, and that's what the car's about. Really.
Things got messy when Singer revealed their DLS, Dynamic Lightweight Study, at a big car show in 2018. This wasn't just another restored 911. It had a full carbon body, 500 horsepower engine made with Williams, the ones from Formula One fame, and completely new suspension. Many people called it the most beautiful 911 ever. But Porsche's lawyers saw a big problem. They said the DLS had changed so much that it wasn't a Porsche 911 anymore. It was basically a new car with an old Porsche VIN number. Yet Singer was still putting Porsche badges and lettering all over it. The situation got worse in 2023 when Singer showed off the DLS Turbo with 700 horsepower and styling inspired by the famous Porsche 935 race car. Porsche complained about this right away, but strangely, this happened just months after Porsche had agreed to build engines for Singer's other projects. The big difference this time, though, Singer refused to take the Porsche badges off these models when asked. That's what led to Porsche filing a lawsuit in February of 2024. Now, Porsche's lawsuit was pretty intense, but wait until you hear what they were actually demanding from Singer. Porsche's 45-page complaint made some serious claims. They said Singer broke their 2012 agreement and was illegally using Porsche's logos and the iconic 911 shape that Porsche had trademarked. Porsche believes Singer was basically passing off their DLS models as real Porsches and making money from Porsche's reputation. They were worried that buyers might get confused about which company actually made these cars. So what did Porsche want? Well, they demanded that Singer immediately stop making any more DLS and DLS Turbo models. They wanted Singer to destroy all their brochures and ads that had Porsche logos, and they wanted Singer to pay them money, both Singer's profits and additional damages. For Porsche, with its endless resources, a long court battle would be no big deal. But for Singer, even though they sell cars for millions of dollars, fighting Porsche in court could have bankrupted them. Surprisingly, the lawsuit ended almost as quickly as it began. By March of 2024, just 1 month after Porsche filed, they reached a deal. Both companies are keeping the exact details secret as they're not legally allowed to talk about it, but what we do know is that Singer can keep building their DLS Turbo models. This means customers who paid around $2 million for these cars Don't have to worry about losing them. Singer has also changed the text on their website to better acknowledge Porsche's trademarks. The new message says, "Out of respect for Porsche and to respect Porsche's trademark rights, this incredible machine should never be called a Singer, Singer 911, Singer Porsche 911, or a Porsche Singer 911, or anything else that suggests it's not simply a Porsche 911 that Singer has restored and reimagined." This wasn't their first rodeo. 3 years earlier, Porsche had complained about Singer using Porsche lettering on their off-road ACS rally cars. Singer had to take down pictures from their websites until they could photograph the cars without the Porsche logos. The settlement saved Singer, but what does this mean for other companies that modify Porsches? Despite the aggressive lawsuit, Porsche probably wanted to avoid a long court battle. While they have every right to protect their brand, going after a beloved small company like Singer would have made Porsche look like bullies. The truth is, Singer only exists because Rob Dickinson and his team love Porsche so much. And while Singer benefits from being associated with Porsche, Porsche also gets a lot from Singer's amazing creations. Singer generates tons of buzz for both companies and has probably pushed Porsche to make their own special editions like the $1 million 935 track car they released in 2019. As one insider put it, Singer does what Porsche can't. They make the kind of all-out enthusiast cars that Porsche itself would never build. These are the cars people will remember decades from now. Singer says they're excited about the future and will keep making amazing cars. Their brand has become so strong that some think that they could start working on other car makes or even branch out beyond cars. What's really interesting is how Singer might evolve from here. With their reputation for incredible craftsmanship, they could potentially create their own car from scratch someday. Imagine what a completely original Singer vehicle might look like if they weren't bound by having to start with a Porsche 911. Some industry experts think that with the right financial backing, Singer could transform from a restoration company into a boutique manufacturer in their own right. For now though, Singer will likely continue doing what they do best, reimagining Porsches, just with more careful attention to how they describe and brand their creations. The DLS Turbo models will be completed, and customers who have already paid their millions won't lose their dream cars. For other companies that modify Porsches like RUF and Emery Motorsports, this case is both a warning and a guide. They'll probably look carefully at their own marketing to make sure they're not crossing any lines with Porsche. We might see updated website disclaimers and more careful language in their promotional materials to avoid similar legal issues. The big question is whether Porsche might start offering more official collaborations with these high-end restoration shops. I mean, after all, if you can't beat them, join them, right? Porsche has already agreed to build engines for some Singer models, so maybe we'll see more partnerships that benefit both sides. This whole situation shows how things are changing between car makers and customizers. In the past, manufacturers often ignored modifications, but now that these custom cars are selling for millions, manufacturers want more control over how their heritage is used. It's no longer just about a few enthusiasts tweaking their cars, it's become pretty big business. We're also seeing this trend across the industry. Ferrari, Lamborghini, and other luxury brands are watching how their classic cars are modified and restored. As values of classic cars skyrocket, the stakes get higher for everyone involved. Porsche once said, "We're happy to have so many Porsche fans. They help keep our old cars on the road, but we also have a responsibility to make sure Porsche products designed and built by us can be clearly identified." That pretty much sums up their position. At the end of the day, this settlement likely means business as usual for car enthusiasts, just with clearer boundaries. Singer will keep making their incredible cars, Porsche will keep protecting their brand, and will keep drooling over these amazing machines on Instagram. So what do you think? Was Porsche right to protect its brand, or were they being too controlling about what happens to 30-year-old cars? And would you rather have a brand new Porsche or one that Singer has rebuilt? Tell us in the comments section below, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories from the car world. Check out our next video on Cadillac's game changer, marketing to women in the 1950s and 60s. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.